Hi everyone, my name is Emily Manwarn and I am a Honors 100 student, and I have chosen to do my disciplinary project in General Biology 1. And for my project, I've decided to do a informative slash research poster board on aplastic anemia and bone marrow donation. So basically, the goal of my project is to really inform people on the disease and how they can help people afflicted with the disease by becoming a donor themselves. And I chose to do this because it really is like a personal note for me, because I was diagnosed with aplastic anemia at the age of 2 years old, and basically the disease is autoimmune. So your immune system attacks your bone marrow and causes it to stop producing red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. So I was extremely susceptible to disease. I was covered in bruises and all the things that come along with not having enough blood cells. But because of the donor program, I was able to receive a bone marrow donation, a bone marrow transplant from a lady all the way in Germany who I had no idea who she was, but she was on the donor list, so she saved my life. So this project and its goal is really to inform people on the disease and how to become a donor and save other people's lives. And I feel like I will accomplish this goal solely just by bringing awareness to it. The more people that can hear about it, the more chance that more people will sign up to be a donor. From this project, I didn't not only learn more about bone marrow donation and more about aplastic anemia, I've had it myself, so I know a lot about that already, but I did learn more about like the cellular level of how aplastic anemia affects your body and all that steps that come with it. But I've also learned more on the things of time management and building this poster board, because it came with a lot of working well with your professor and working how to manage your time and working just with all those little aspects. So I feel like that's the main aspect that I did learn, is just how to put this all together, how to make a timeline, how to present this project in the correct way. So with this project, I used a lot of my personal knowledge for it, because I've been growing up around this for a long time. And so my biggest resource, especially for the emotional impact, you may not be able to see it well on this screen, so I will put it up on my post as a separate picture, but I put in like several emotional, my personal story, how to become a donor and things like that. I feel like that main resource came from me to encourage people to be a donor, like using that emotion side. So all of that, I was able to use my personal knowledge, and some of the background and some of that really came with my personal knowledge. But my other main big resource was Mayo Clinic. Mayo Clinic is amazing for disease type information. They have a lot on many different diseases, and specifically bone marrow donation, aplastic anemia. They did cover bone marrow donation with it, and they also did cover like the little cellular components of it, and just really covered every area, like causes, symptoms, treatment. That was all from a lot of Mayo Clinic or Mayo Clinic type resources, just all that information on a medical level. And then finally, the other resource that I used a lot of was the official bone marrow donation site, because that's where I got my link for people to donate. That's where I got my information on how the donation process works, and it was really helpful for all that type of things with the bone marrow donation part. I would say my biggest difficulty with this project, like I said before, was kind of time management. I didn't really set a very good, me and my professor did set a nice schedule out about when I need to get stuff done, but I feel like I didn't do great with time management just because I didn't have a set, I don't know what you want to call it, a template for what I wanted to cover, because this is a very broad topic. So I feel like in the future, if I were to do this project again, to better my time management, to better condense this, I would first start with a template of what I want each category to be about and what I want to cover in it, and then do my research, because I was kind of just doing all my research all my research, and it was this huge, broad, big category when I really needed it to just be condensed down. So when I'm doing this in the future, I feel like I would make it a little less crowded because my poster board is pretty crowded, but I really wanted to just get all that information on there just to, because most people learning about aplastic and bone marrow donation don't know anything about it. So I really just needed to get that basic information down, and I feel like I condensed it as much as I could. But in the future, I would just do a better job of making a plan. How does this benefit others? Like I said before, getting the word out, just spreading awareness of this disease and how to become a donor can save someone's life. Really, I mean, just a random person out there saved my life. So I feel like the more I spread this message, the more people I can hear about it, the more people can maybe decide to become a donor. And having just like this super easy link QR code from this poster board, you're just walking by in the hallway, you take a little read out my poster and you see a QR code. It's simple as that. So I think it's really just getting the word out, getting more people to be interested in this topic. So really, since I mentioned before, this is such a broad topic, I was not able to cover all the little things in aplastic anemia, and there is a lot. So I put future research down here. It's a very, very small section because I just didn't have enough. There's too broad of a category to expand upon it a lot. So I feel like the main areas that could be expanded upon in my project are the future research, because, you know, they have new like genetic alterations and things like that. They're developing new treatment options every single day. So that could be a whole nother project in itself. Just to name a few, they have cell-based therapies, gene therapy, and then expanding the donation transplant procedure. So there's a lot of other areas that can be expanded upon in this future research area. So I feel like that is where most of the expanding upon could go. But also, I only touched a little bit on the cellular aspect of bone marrow, of aplastic anemia. So I feel like more expanding upon what happens in your cells to cause aplastic anemia, because I was only able to hit upon it briefly. But for someone that already knows about aplastic anemia, already knows about bone marrow donation, having another project about the specifics of the cells and everything could be helpful since they already know about it. But I wanted to keep it broad just to really get the information out there. And overall, this project was really special to me, obviously, because I have had this disease. So it was really personal, and I really enjoyed working with my professor because he really gave me free range on being creative with it, and he really liked my personal story and connection with it. So I feel like when you have that personal connection and that personal story, you really just, it becomes more of like a love project. Like you really want to do your best on it, and you really want to work hard for something that you really care about. So this is the result of that. It's something I really care about, and it's something that I hope more people will look into and more people will consider becoming a donor. Thank you.